Human resource management, a very important and crucial department in any organization. Today we are going to present a presentation on human resource management and why our organization need this department. This presentation has been made by Pratik, Deepak, Shadaf, Kunal and Vikash, myself. So the introduction will be like.
So the introduction to the human resource management. Human resource management is an organization in a company which manages the employee, and involves hiring, firing, training and motivating the staff. Human resource is important assets to a company as it is backbone. It take cares of it take cares of facing new challenges like technologies, the new trends. There is also a need of an human resource management as it avoids the personal mistakes and gives justice to every employee. So the history of the human resource management, which it was started in 1890s, then it get evolved during the First World War and the Second World War, and today we are presenting the latest trend of human resource management in front of you. So the functions of human resource management. The first function is the staffing. So the staffing, which means the HRM recruits and hires the employees. They hire the appropriate employees for their particular position. Then second one is the compensation and benefit. Human resource management also take care of the employees' compensation. They take care they take care of the employees payroll and ensure that every employee is paid appropriately at regular point of time. Then employees relation. Human resource management also take care of employees that in an organization they take care of employees that if they are contributing equally within an organization, and if any kind of disputes are happening, so human resource also take care of that. And then learning and development. So human resource management also conducts an interview for the new employees as well as for the existing employees, and for their betterment. Then the employees welfare. So human resource management also take care of employees welfare in terms of medical, dental treatment, as well as the life insurance for their future plannings. And the record keeping. Human resource management also take care of the record keeping, as it is very important for the company to check their income, expenses, expenditure for their references.
So here are the objectives of human resource management. That some objective that we want to collectively achieve for an organization. That what societal, organizational, functional, personal objective is actually showing. So societal is the objectives which we are collectively want to achieve in and around. Then the organizational objective is what the company's objective which they want us to achieve. Then the functional objective, yes, the HRM, how the HRM works for the company and the employees. Then the personal objective is as in the individual as an employee, how it's growing. So for the growth of the employee, some of the objectives are there to achieve. Then here's the HR model on which human resource management actually work for the recruitment and selection processes. So stakeholder interests, these are some bodies which are directly or indirectly interested into the organization. Then the situational factors, those factors where you need to recruit or select a new person. Like workforce strategy, if the person is clever or weak, it can be recruited or fired. Then the business strategies conditions, these are the conditions on a different level, that how many people and all you have to maintain. Then the management philosophy, the expert advice actually matters. Then the labor market, because the people are not that talented present in the market, so recruiting a correct person is very important. Union you have to maintain, because those are the specific bodies who maintain and have an eye on the employee, how they're growing or not. If they're not happy, they can go on a strike. Technology, you have to be evolved. And the law and societal means you're not breaking any law while you're doing any practices. Then HRM, some policies for the employees, it influence to motivate the employee. The human resource flow is if any person is leaving or firing or getting transferred. The place is vacant, you have to recruit a person. Reward system can be financial or recognizable. Then work system is what in around people given advice to you, you are taking that advice in a good manner, so it get a transparency and give a trust. Then the HR and outcomes, you can see the commitment, competence, and cost effectiveness. It all the outcomes, whatever the HR model is doing in behind that the outcomes which come out, and the long term consequences, that's the all collective goals of personal, organizational, functional objective to be get achieved.
Now talking about the recruitment methods, HR having recruitment policies, or whenever they find the need of staffing in different organizations, they release the vacancies through different forms, like going to organizing a job fairs, putting the vacancies on internet, on the intranets, which is the specific brand specific, then advertisement in different mobile sites, different televisions, and going to different consultancies is also one of the factors.
So now talking about the recruitment procedure. Recruitment. It's a process in which the HR attract the candidate to a job, particular job. So next one is identify the vacancy. When a HR fire a candidate or someone a person left the job, so there's a vacant. The job is vacant. So the HRs need to fulfill the vacant job. The next one is prepare a job description, in which HR prepare a description which tells about the zest of the job or the things that the candidates need to fulfill. Advertising the vacancy, in which the HR puts the ads on different platforms to attract as much of candidate for the particular job. Managing the response. After putting the advertising, many people apply for the job, so the HR is required to make a note or make a list of the people who is applying for the job and make a proper note. After the making of list, they need to short listing, in which they see that which candidate is fulfilling their requirement or the candidate is qualified for the job. Then arranging interview. In this, the HR make a venue and make a date on which the interview going to be held, and conducting interview. In this, the HR make a panel of the senior HR who going to take the interview of the candidates.
After recruitment comes the selection method. There are different methods through which the organization select a particular candidate for their organization. Some of them are cited here, like role play. Role play can tell us about the candidate is capable of taking the similar situation at the live counter. Next is psychometric test and trait test, which tells us about the IQ of that person. And group activities tells us about their leadership qualities. Can they be the leader of a team?
So after the recruitment, selection procedures come. In this, there's first interview in which a panel takes an interview and see which people or the candidate is qualified for the job. Then they receive a application in which the HR give a standard application form in which it consists of their candidate age, qualification, and the experience they have. Next, they have a screening in which the candidate goes through the interview. They see that the candidate is qualified their needs or not. Then they have a TED test. It's a test in which sending the candidate to the interview before they have a test in which they see the ability of the candidate by giving him a IQ test or TED test. Then passing that interview, they have an employee interview. This interview is more important interview, because in this the interview see the communication skills of the candidate and give him a actual picture of the what things they need, what things they required for the job. Then they have a checking references in which the HRC HR sees the document and the prospector given by the candidate that it's a real or not, and see the records of the candidate. Then they have a physical examination. This is This is also important because the firm needed a fit, physical, good candidate for the firm. Then finally selection. In this, the HR gives him or her appointment letter that you are selected and you can join our firm. So this is how recruitment done.
As a HR, we take into consideration many things before recruiting a person or a candidate for a particular organization. This includes the terms and conditions and the policies of the company. Here are some considerations like HR do not discriminate the candidates. On the basis of their age, gender. They don't even judge them on the language and as the barrier. They basically look them for their merits, like their knowledge, their skills, what skills they are having, and their passion towards the job and towards the company and the organization they are getting selected for.
Now talking about the equality in recruitment and selections, HR has to follow some equality between the candidates to make sure the brand values, and also about explaining the interviewees who even not get selected. These are the process. Legislation gives a written proof that the interviews which are being the recruitment and selection which are being happening is on a non-discriminatory basis. And about the burden of proof, these are the reasons which are being given to the employees, or the candidates who are applying for that. On what basis they are not getting selected, or what all basis they got selected. Then about discrimination, disabilities, merits, genders and age. These are the other discriminatory factors which the HR should follow. And talking about the diversity of recruitment and selections, the diversity actually added the versatility in an organization. Talking about the work level, multi-skilled workforce, these added the more these gives more flexibility to the candidates, to the employees, or to the organization, those who are running around. Then about the awareness, competitiveness are other factors, like even if the candidates those got selected are from different cultures, different backgrounds, and are from different cities as well. So this helps the employees or the people who are under the organization. This helps them to explore more about their cultures, more about the organization, more about the market which are being running around in different cities. About the enhancing people management practices, about enhancing competitions. This also increases the competitions in an organization, because every cities and every people have a different knowledge, and when they comes together in an organization, this increases the competitiveness level, and this is being governed by the HR. About the biasness free recruitment, yes, obviously it is a thing that HR should follow to maintain a brand value, because the biasness which are being followed, this should the recruitment which are being done, this should be on a non-biased basis, to make sure that employee sentiment does not get hurt, and also to make a fair image about the brand in the market. About the brand reputation, yes, and about the market shares. While doing the recruitment on a non-discriminatory basis, on an equality basis, or on a diverse level, on a versatile level, this increases the market structure. This increases the new trends which are being happening in the organizations. This also helps the brand to grow its hand in different cities, different countries, and different continents. About the market shares, yes, if a brand increases its hand, it also increases its market shares in the market, which also helps the shareholders to gain more earnings from investing in the certain organizations. These are the references which have been gone through, and here we come to the end and the conclusion that the HR department is very much important for an organization, and also it helps the organization to grow and expand its hands in different areas. Thank you, and this is all from us.